Good morning, my brothers and sisters, and all my friends. This morning we are going to talk about the parents, the power of parents. Yesterday we talked about the power of mother, the first guru. And this morning we are going to talk about the power of parents together, along with the power of mother. We must recognize this fact, and the humanity must be very, very cautious about that the parents must take this cosmic responsibility, and they must recognize that they are responsible for whatever their kids do here on earth. Part of the responsibility lies with them, because we already know that there are certain things, or psychological factors and psychological programming of the human mind, which is like hardwiring of the brain, which always stays with the child as the precognitive commitment. And because of the precognitive commitments learned at the very early age, they become permanent behavior of the child, later on of the adult. So we have to recognize this cosmic responsibility of every parent, that they must be aware that they are responsible to set this chain, because their children are the chain of universal good or the chain of universal evil. Because wherever they are going to exist, either they are going to create universal good. I say universal good because every event and every action of ours has universal implications, has universal effect. What science talks about, the butterfly effect. So every thought, every word and every deed of the child has the universal effect. It affects everybody. It affects the whole universe. So the parents must be aware about this cosmic responsibility, that their children, whom they bring in this world, because of their active participation in this universal phenomena, and this is the fruit, the children are the fruit of their marriage institution. So they must take this responsibility, that they are setting a chain of universal good or the universal evil through their children. So they are partly, if not totally, but partly, they are responsible for everything their children do on earth at every step and every moment of their life and their existence. So, my dear brothers and sisters, let's recognize this fact, that we, as our children, we set a chain of universal good or the universal evil upon earth. And when we are the active agent of this chain, then we are definitely responsible. And this responsibility we cannot justify, we cannot manipulate, and there is no convenience of our liking, because it's absolute truth. This is universal truth, that every human being is a very powerful cosmic creator. And through our thoughts, through our words, and through our deeds, we affect the whole universe. We set a chain of universal good and universal evil. And that is what the cosmic karma is. When we set a chain of good and bad, then we are also responsible to the whole universe, because we affect, all our acts affect the whole universe. So my brothers and sisters, please be aware of your cosmic responsibility as a parent. The parents must act as a unit together, what we call a couple. A couple who has joined hearts and brains and hearts and minds, who has become one with their love and their care for each other. And from this unity of their heart and mind, we receive the children. We have to be very careful about the mystique part of this relationship. We have to be very aware that a soul takes a decision to choose us as her parents, to choose us as her first school on earth. So we are the first guru. We are the school on earth for the soul. So the child is not just anybody. A child is the great cosmic volunteer who had chosen us as parents and had chosen us as the school of earth initiation, as the Gurukul, had chosen us as the first gurus to initiate that soul in the affairs of the world. So we have a cosmic responsibility. We have to take cosmic responsibility to this cosmic volunteer. And how could we ever be careless and callous and not to take this responsibility? How could we teach our children tricks, dishonesty, greed, profiteering? And how could we indoctrine those traits of behavior of selfishness, that you first and everybody else later, that you teach your child that you could take advantage of the earth resources, you can destroy the earth resources for your profits? My dear brothers and sisters, if you think that you have floated a corporate entity, that you are the blue blood, so-called the royal families, then the economic royal families, doesn't matter what you call yourself, but you have no right to destroy the earth resources for your personal profits, for your personal glory, for your personal greed and gluttony. So if you teach your child that, believe me, you are a cosmic criminal as a parent. So we must teach our children. The parents must teach their children, that they have to be morning people, not the evening people, not the night people. In the wisdom tradition of India, we call those people who get up late in afternoon, and then leave for the night. They are nisacha. We have a word for them. That's the devil's family. And their mind will pick up those traits of behavior which are detrimental to the collective welfare of the whole society. And they are the most selfish persons on earth. So the parents must teach their children to get up early before the sunrise. This is the first thing they must teach their children, this discipline. And believe me, any child, any person who will wake up before the sunrise will be a morning person. And a morning person will improve and incorporate those godly characters and those godly attributes. And I call upon all the poor people of the planet that they must teach their children. If they want to get out of the poverty, the first mantra is to teach their children to get up early before the sunrise, because an early bird gets the worm. Because they will have more time to work and get out of the poverty. There is such a power in early morning environment that anybody who gets up and gets ready before the sunrise, believe me, that person may be poor, but will never be a wretched poor. So the first antidote to the poverty is to start early in the morning. So this discipline, every parent must teach their children to become the morning people, not the night people. Humanity has to transform this behavior and this habit. And this is a practical observation. You can look around all those people who are night people. They are always have the morals of their own convenience. They have practically no morals other than their own selfish nature and self-glory and self-aggrandizement. And they never contribute anything to the collective behavior and the collective welfare. They just jump and dance about their own personal ego. So we have to teach our children to become the morning people. That's the first discipline the parents must teach their children. The second is the timetable. The children must learn the value of the time. They must incorporate the discipline for every second and every minute of their day of 24-hour cycle. So the time management. And the third, the parents must teach their children that if the child has decided to study for 4 hours, then that must be 4 hours, must be steadfast and firmly rooted on the seat, on the study table for 4 hours. Maybe 4 hours and few more minutes, but not less than a single minute. That's known as ashan sadhana in the great science of yoga, that you are steadfast and firmly rooted in one place. Means you are firmly focused and concentrated on your work. And that's the power of concentration, my brothers and sisters. And if you concentrate and if you are focused, you are always healthy. Your immune system is strengthened by keeping the mind focused on one goal. That's a gift of Mother Nature. That's the gift of this human body. That's the gift of this universe. That if you are focused on your destination, of your goal, your body will always be healthy. And your immune system will be very, very strong. So we have to make our children morning people by asking them to get up early before the sunrise. Second, the timetable, time management. And third, the place of work, firmly rooted on the place of work and that particular time period. And third and fourth is the emotional management. The child must learn, and the parents must teach their child that there is no free lunch in the universe. There is no alternative to the hard work. It hardly matters. It really hardly matters how rich you are and how poor you are. It really doesn't matter very much. What really matters is how sincere you are to your work on earth. Because there are no tricks with your work. Because this is our own examination. This is our self-examination. Because we are volunteers, we come here, we choose to come to earth to do the evolutionary work. So this is our own examination. We set the paper, we decide the limits. We decide how hard we want to work and what goal we want to achieve, the evolutionary goal. So we set the paper, we are the examiner, and we are the examinee, and we answer the questions, and we mark those questions. It's our self-examination. So it doesn't matter you are rich or poor, but you have a cosmic responsibility to your evolutionary work and your existence upon earth. So you must be very sincere. Whether you pass this examination in one birth or 100,000 births, choice is yours. So why to play tricks with yourself and be a dishonest person with yourself? Why to deceive yourself? Why not to pass this examination with distinction and with colors? And maybe in one time or maybe in 100,000 births. Because if we can pass in 10 times or few times, then we can enjoy being volunteer and being liberated like a Mahayana, like a Bodhisattva, that we could come here as a volunteer to do the cosmic volunteer work and become the hand of the God, because we have already achieved and attained our personal liberation, our Nirvana. So we don't need to come for our personal Nirvana anymore on earth. Isn't that great? That we are awarded this certificate that we have already attained the personal Nirvana. And now we don't need to work for our own Nirvana, but we work for the Nirvana of all the sentient beings as a Mahayana, as a Bodhisattva. So we don't need to hurry up our own Nirvana. It doesn't mean anything anymore. And we become the cosmic volunteers and the hand of the God on earth. That's our prize and that's our bonus of this honest earth work and cosmic, evolutionary cosmic work. Along with this emotional management, we must teach our children the financial management, that they are responsible for this social asset. They are not owners of this money, what they have in their pocket. This money belongs to the whole society and the whole humanity. They are only custodians. The money they have in their pocket, they are only custodians, and they are supposed to use it for the best of their own life and for the welfare of the whole humanity. The children must learn this. They are only custodians. So they will learn how to make priorities. They will learn to be responsible for the money, which is a social asset. So they must know the financial management, and they must also be aware about the economics of abundance, and not to subscribe to the economics of scarcity, and not to worry about their own personal profits. My dear brothers and sisters, let me say a few words, the last few words, but not the least, that all the parents on the planet Earth, they are also responsible for every crime their children do. They are partially responsible. And there will be a day when we will be practicing honesty, universal honesty. Then the parents will come forward voluntarily and come and tell the society, please punish us. This is our fault that we did not teach our children. We could not make our children as the best human beings. This is our fault. They will volunteer to get punished. My dear brothers and sisters, that will be a day on planet Earth when we will be exercising the universal honesty. So the parents are responsible for every crime or every good or every action of evil or good of our children. We are legally responsible also, and we must be punished for that offense if our children are creating problem, not for themselves but for the whole society. We cannot say we are not responsible. We must take this cosmic responsibility. My dear brothers and sisters, we have to take that cosmic responsibility for our children, for the cosmic chain we set in this universe upon earth as our children. Thank you very much, my brothers and sisters. Thank you very much, and have a very beautiful day.